What is? Oh. Sorry.
What? False start on Stacy. Stacy. Hey,
Yes.
it's Keith Pitch.
Stacy Chevalier, good morning.
And today is December 5th, and this is Real Estate Now.
Hey, Keith. Sorry about
Hey,
that.
Stacy.
How are you? Is it snowing where you're at?
Is it snowing? No.
Oh.
I'm actually. We had this discussion this morning with my beautiful wife Melanie, and I'm like, this is why we moved from Bellevue, because it's just 50 degrees and raining, and it's December 5th, and I want some snow. Darn it!
Because when I talk to our other friends on our team in Spokane, they're like, their roads sound terrible. You're just a short drive away. Nothing in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's all in Spokane.
No. The friend that you're referring to, she lives up Spokane Mountain. Mm-hmm. So she does have a little bit more snow, but it is turning to a slushy mess. So if you got some like fruity, sugary syrup that you can put on, you can make a lot of snow cones right now. So anyway,
all right. Awesome.
But welcome to
our top 5.
Welcome to today's episode. Let's jump into our top 5 before we invite our guest on stage here, and we're going to talk about some new technology in the real estate sector. It's a 4-letter word, Stacy. It rhymes with bet. It is
debt.
Debt. Yes.
Yes.
You know, there's one thing about us Americans. We're really good with our debt as far as racking it up. So we've hit $17.29 trillion in consumer debt at the end of Q3 2023. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's just take a quick breakdown here. I like the chart better.
Yeah,
breakdown. It is at an all-time high, as I mentioned. It exponentially kind of went way up post-COVID. So we've got credit cards. Other debt, which is interesting. I don't know what they put in this other debt, is 2.13 trillion. We got credit card debt at 1.079 trillion. And we have auto loans at 1.5 trillion. And we got home equity revolving lines of credit at 0.3 trillion. And then here's the mortgage debt at $12 trillion, which is a really interesting topic, because before we get too negative on debt, we have to also keep in mind that equity in home ownership is at an all-time high as well. So yes, we do have leveraged debt, but the upside, and this is not a 2008 situation, the upside to that debt is huge, better than it's ever been. But this is.
I also have read other articles that say even though the debt is so high, most consumers are still okay with paying it.
Yeah.
Now those are people who are not in the mortgage real estate space right now, but everyone else might be okay.
If you're not in mortgage and real estate, you're probably doing much better. But the credit card debt is the one that I just want to talk about really quickly. This stuff is on average 21.99%. You can flip this debt if you have that equity position in your house down to a home equity line of credit and get it around prime plus 1 and consolidate that effective interest rate. So if you're looking for a little alleviation, that would be a great way to do it.
Yep. And if you're over 55, there's also the home equity conversion mortgage that we would love to talk to you about.
Absolutely. Where did I put the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac? Hey, we got new right around Thanksgiving time every year. FHFA publishes their new guidelines for loans and loan limits. So now, I started with Idaho because that's where I geographically am, and I can't find my mouse.
This County is 766.
Yeah, so 766. The whole state is 766,500 as far as a conventional loan is concerned. So that's pretty awesome.
And the reason we want the conventional loan limits to go up, which they do seem to go up every single year, is it gives you an easier or more options, I guess, for loan programs rather than jumping into the high-bow jumbo space.
The jumbo space, the jumbo space is exponentially harder to get that loan, requires more down payment, requires a bigger depth of credit, all that good stuff. So you rocking over in King County, you're rocking $977,500.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Awesome. I mean, you can buy almost $1 million house
Well, you can
which
because you're gonna put some sort of down payment down, and you're in a
Yeah.
conforming limit.
With a really small down payment of 5%, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So keep that going on. So loan limits are up again. That means FHFA thinks that the market will continue to go up. So
Yeah,
the
good point.
last,
If they were worried about the market going down, they wouldn't have done an increase, and they could have implemented a decrease in loan amounts, which they did not do.
Stacy, what is going to go down though?
Interest rates,
The Fed funds rate,
my favorite
right?
thing to talk about. Yeah.
Fed's about to go down. So Reuters has a really good write-up. We'll throw this link in there if y'all want to see it. There is 100% possibility per Reuters forecast that the Fed funds rate will come down next year. There's lots of
100%
debate
pretty
on.
good. I mean, I would take that risk.
Yeah, so 100% bet that rates are coming down next year is a really great bet. I love that bet. The question is now how
when
far?
and how much? Yeah. So there's a whole bunch, and I think it's too early to say. But what the talking heads are saying is it could come down 5 to 6. They could have 5 to 6 meetings where they lower the rate.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I accidentally closed the tab. It was on this macro trends, but you guys.
There's even a percent saying they could drop it in January. Now that's a very small percent that I wouldn't gamble against. I think it's 13%.
Yeah, it's under 20%.
Yeah, I think it's 13, but still it's there, right? Which means, so let's do a over under, Keith. When do you think the first Fed rate will drop?
March.
I was gonna say that. Okay, I'm gonna go with February.
Yeah, you can take March. We can both,
No, I'm gonna go really early. I don't want to go April. I think that's too late. Okay, let's tie. I'm gonna go with March.
Yeah, let's tie. Tie's okay. We can both be on the same team. This is why.
Sweaters. Actually, look, we both have like stripy. I'm just red. You're blue.
Yeah, I noticed that on our earlier phone call. But the one thing that's super important about this, folks, is if you are waiting for the market to implode, it's not going to happen. We've said this ever since we got into COVID, that there's not a greater correction than anything that's already happened. And I'm very passionate about this. You first-time homebuyers out there with zero cash in your pocket and you're looking to do minimum down or get a gift or use a down payment assistance program, your market will be gone. Mark my words. Today is December 5th. Your market will be gone by the 1st of April, right? We will get back to multiple offers. We will get back to escalations going $10, $20, $50, $100,000 over the asking price. So if you're not cash rich right now and you're not able to upsell and get a higher purchase price and escalate those purchases, now is the time to buy. Now is the time to buy. I'm super passionate about that. I know you can hear it in my voice.
I hope now the media is at least helping you all see like we reached the bottom. So I mean, I kind of gets the angst and the fear of like, if I buy now, like, what if rates don't drop? Like, it's gonna happen now. So now you're at the bottom. It's the best time to buy. Like, buy right now before it's too late.
Yep, I wholeheartedly believe in that. So, changing gears, we've got another 2 questions that we'll bring our panels in and talk about that with them. But changing gears, realtors, MLOs out there, mortgage loan originators, listen up. It is time that you get introduced if you have not already been introduced to a new technology. Today we have Ben Schmidt with Uplist joining us today. Ben, welcome to the studio.
Hey welcome, guys, Ben. Appreciate you having me on. How are you?
We're great.
Good, doing great.
Where are you, Ben? Are you in the Pacific Northwest?
No, I am in the Midwest, so I'm just north of Chicago, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But similar weather.
Yeah. A lot of friends.
I'm ready for my snow, man. Anyway, well, hey, so Uplist is a new technology out there on the market, available to our realtor mortgage professionals, excuse me. So tell us a little bit about Uplist and what you guys are aiming to help in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. It came to fruition this year, 2023, really was the brainchild of Jeff Bell, who is a mortgage loan originator, also owns his own mortgage company. I think what's really unique about the story is having him been a loan officer for so long, He's all about efficiency, simplicity. How can I do things faster, right? I think that's a lot of the mindset of most MLOs. And he created technology that solved a lot of the problems and the hurdles that he was running into. So it's really exciting to see something that a loan officer created for loan officers out there that are going to help them grow business in a few different ways, of which are what the products are that we have currently today and continue to grow.
Yeah, and you guys just went live, was it September? So it's, I mean, when you say 2023, it's very recent. I mean, I know it's been being built for the last year or so. But.
Yeah, spring of this year, we have about a dozen plus customers, companies right now, lenders, which is who we play to. But the value with Uplist is the ability to build those relationships within the mortgage and real estate industry, which I think is always so important. I've historically always talked about the collaboration between the two and providing value upon value. What I like about Uplist is it's done in a very simple, transparent, and efficient way. And the real differentiator between our product and any other product out there is real-time rates. So we're pulling real-time rates from the PPE that you choose. And so you're able to provide this information, whether it be to the listing agent through one of our Smart View listing flyers, or through the home buyer through our Smart Buyer tool. Regardless of what time of day it is, if they start to choose to run scenarios, it's always going to be real-time, accurate rate and payment information that they're seeing, so they know exactly what they're getting into.
Yeah, so for people out there watching that don't know what a PPE is, for the general public, or if you're an agent, what Ben is saying is their company connects to loan officers' pricing engines that's live. And so like if you were to call Keith and you wanted your interest rate, he would go into a system and do some stuff and give you a payment. Or you could go to Uplist and click on a QR code that attaches to Keith's pricing, and it will automatically give you that day's rates. And it will change. It's just live with Keith's system, because as you know, rates change multiple times a day. So you could just click it you could click it all day long and see what's going on if you want, just for fun.
Yeah,
but if you're sitting at an open house, you don't have to one, you shouldn't be trying to figure out the payment, but if you don't have to be depending on your loan officer to be there, though they should also be there.
Well, hold on. I'm going to disagree with you just slightly. Going back into this market, as rates start to come back down and the market starts heating up and you have to make that offer. That's what I love about this, Ben. You're putting the power of rate and negotiation power in the hands of the consumer and the agent right there in the house on the spot today. What are we going to do? Are we going to offer or are we not going to offer?
Yeah. A couple things related to that. We look at you loan officers as the trusted loan officer to whether it's your referral partner or to a potential buyer. And so what we've heard in our feedback and what you're speaking to, Stacy, is the Smart View listing flyers that we have that are dynamically generating those payment information. It's a great outreach opportunity to go to listing agents, oftentimes overlooked in the industry, as an opportunity to build that relationship. You can go ahead and create a flyer on their behalf, give it to them at the open house. Your face, your likeness, your information is inside that home now, and it's providing real-time payment information to those potential buyers. And real estate agents really like it because it allows them to walk through seller credits, and we just added 2-1 buy down, 2-1 buy down options within there as well. So there's that conversation happen between the listing agent and the potential home buyer as well in that situation. So the collaboration has been really good, and there's kind of 3 key products that we've launched since the Smart View listing flyers, which gets into how Jeff
before you go into that, Ben, I just want to put a bow around the 2-1 buy down that you guys just added, because a lot of people are dropping their purchase prices, and it's really good for you to talk to a loan officer or check out the Uplist flyer first, because let's say it's a $20,000 price reduction. It could cost, say, $10,000 for a 2-1 buy down, depending on the price point. It could be a $100,000 price reduction, and a 2-1 buy down might cost $30,000.
Yeah.
And what the 2-1 buy down does, it lowers that rate for 2 years, and then again, it lowers it for 2 years. We're just going to keep it simple. And that payment is likely going to be less than if you drop down the purchase price. And so it's a win-win for both. The consumer gets a lower payment and the seller doesn't need to drop the price as much. So it's good to always look at both. And now in this one easy flyer that they built, you can see it both real time and decide which way is best for the consumer to go.
Yeah, and Jeff's a really personable guy. He got a note the other day from a loan officer. She just basically 10x'd her time. So she was spending up to 30 minutes on when a customer would ask her, like, what's the cost and payments on a 2-1 buy down for this property? And so she would have to go and redo all the numbers and the calculations and make sure they're right. She was saying it took her 30 minutes to do that per. And now she can do it in 1 to 3 minutes per. And right there, she's able to maximize her time. What's she going to do with it? Maybe more outreach to listing agents she hasn't connected with. You know, I'm happy to show you a little bit of the behind the scenes on the product if you're interested.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. Let me go ahead.
Getting in the car right now. We're gonna instead of driving the Volkswagen, we're gonna go drive a Lamborghini. That's fun.
All right. So sharing my screen. Let me know when you can see it.
There we go. There it is.
So as a loan officer, you come in here, this is your main dashboards. And these are probably the 3 most important things that you want to pay attention to. When we say listings, we're talking about the listings that allow you to create a smart view flyer. So you take that 1 to 3 minutes, you input the information on the property, and then what it allows you to, what it kicks out back at you is these options here. So from left to right, you can then create a flyer. So we have quite a few options you can choose from. You can download that, and that's what you can share. Here's what it looks like with your listing agent in the open house. So the user scans the QR code. You see no rates are listed. When they scan that QR code, they're going to the dedicated web page, which is all mobile friendly. Everything here is optimized for the smallest device possible.
Cool.
I'm on a desktop here, but this would look just the same, only slightly smaller. And they can start to run these scenarios. And so what you can see here is, okay, the offer price, here's what I'm comfortable putting down. And all of this is editable. But now you can choose a buy down option as well. So if we choose that and we say get payments, again, it's pulling live payment rate and payment information. And so it's going to pull up the options and they can start to explore, well, what is affordable? What makes sense for my personal scenario? And it also allows, again, that agent home buyer relationship to start to form where they're talking within the house. You know, just the other day, we monitor how many scans of the QR code. There's one that just got 55 hits in a single day. So, you know, there's a lot of activity. People are looking at it. That's really helpful. And so you can just start exploring what your options are. And then if this was on mobile, it would say call or text or email. Since I'm on a desktop, it says email, and it'll email, obviously, the loan officer so they can take the next step.
Okay, so this is where it gets really cool. But Ben, I only want to put down $50,000.
Right.
Right?
So we can go ahead and change that here. And you can run your same scenario, no buy down this time. You can see what comes back. Again, this is perfect for the type of buyer I would be. I want to play around with it. I want to do those scenarios. I want to find what works for me. And then when I'm ready, reach out to the loan officer. And I think the loan officer likes that as well, because it frees them up, which gets into kind of the whole idea of what we call our quick quotes feature, which is separate from this, but similar functionality.
Yeah, and that's what happens out in the field. You know, folks are out there, well, what if we offered $475 or $495 or for this? Or
the offer is doing 20 different quotes. Yeah,
and you can do it so simply right here in real time.
Yeah.
How powerful is that?
For that last one, it kept pulling up conforming and FHA. Does the consumer get to choose? Like, what if they're like, I want to see VA? Do they click different buttons so they get to see the?
100% able to change all of that. It's just based on the radio buttons that you choose in the selection process. You know, the other item, you know, which is sitting right here, military veteran, that would denote for the VA. You know, the other new feature that we just rolled out is our quick quotes, but it's our public quick quote URL. So I think about if you're a user of Encino's Simple Nexus app, very popular. What reason are you giving your home buyers to go there? What reason are you giving your listing agents to go there? Well, it might be minimal at the moment, in particular with the listing agents, but you now have the ability to share this public link with in any way you want. So you think about the app, the Simple Nexus app, you're able to create those unique tabs that take you someplace, and you can call it whatever you want. But you also think about newsletters you might have in your email signature. This allows anyone that clicks on it, again, it's mobile friendly if I were to scale this down and play around with different scenarios related to a quick quote option that they might be looking for. So the ability,
the quick quote, so I understand, it's not attached to a property. It's just they just want payment info on like a TBD. They haven't found the property. Is that the difference?
yeah, they probably have a property in mind, and they include that when they go ahead and email their loan officer to take the next step on it. So if I were to, this is what the public URL looks like that you can embed into, again, the app or into a newsletter. And when you come down here and you want to actually email your loan officer to take that next step, it'll ask you some additional information, not very much because we want to keep it simple and lightweight. And that gives the LO everything that they need to successfully move that along. I think, the last thing worth noting is the Smart Buyer tool. And what this does is this is really a play for loan officer building relationship with potential buyer. And so you set up your potential buyer. They could be pre-approved or not. You put in the parameters of what they're approved for, basically. And then they go ahead, it's whitelisted, white labeled, so that you're able to have your lender information on there. And now in the palm of my hand as a potential buyer, from my trusted loan officer, you've sent me this tool and I can look up any active listing. And based on the parameters you've defined for me that I'm approved for, I can start to hunt and search those listings. And then in a click of a button, request that pre-approval from my loan officer. So you can, getting back to your point, Keith, you mentioned earlier about ability to stay.
Oh no. Ben closed his window. Ben will be back.
He'll come back. He'll come back. But so we were one of the test pilots for this program,
Yes.
Uplist. Just our group, not our company. But Keith, what was your experience with it?
Oh, it's great. I introduced it. Oh, hold on. Ben's back. Welcome back, Ben.
Welcome back.
Keith
was to finish his experience with using Uplist. Yes.
It's great. And to echo Ben's sentiment, like the listing agents, which, they are amazing partners out there. This is a tool that they can actually use. So when you can bring and empower somebody in the palm of their hand with their phone to be able to make an informed, educated decision about how they're going to move forward with real estate, it's a game changer. It's just an amazing game changer. And the updates, I hadn't seen the buyer tab yet. That buyer tab is great because now you're reverse engineering it on my side, on the mortgage side, to enable that person to go out and shop and really be able to put into their budget, does this house fit? That's the question that we all ask at the end of the day. Does this house fit my budget? And that's what they're looking for. So when we can bring something like that to the market and help our clients take that next step, dude, it's worth every penny.
Yeah, I would agree. The last thing I would say about that is a lot of people forget about their CRM. Historically, I've talked about the value and the importance of the data within your CRM. People say, well, there's not a lot of buyers in the market. If you have a up-to-date CRM, you're probably going to have the data and the insights to let you know when someone is ready to get back into the market, when there's an opportunity, or even just to be that tap on the shoulder that says, hey, I have a new tool I want to share with you. I know you're not ready yet to buy, but when you are, feel free to play around with it. And again, it keeps you top of mind, provides something of value. And I think that's what people are looking for in their trusted loan officers.
And do the LOC, how many, I know it doesn't capture information, so maybe we should talk about that really fast, but do the LOC, how many people click on it?
Yes. So we can see all of the data and analytics related to activity. We don't want to collect that PPI, that information that might get us in trouble. So we're not really looking at it from a traditional sense in that way, but you are able to see activity.
You're not asking for names, emails, phone number. Like there's no way for anyone to contact you if you click that QR code just to get rate unless you ask for it. And
correct.
Then Keith will be on the other side to help you, but he can't just reach out to you. So some people don't like that. Some lenders don't like it. I love it. I think it just gives a new, fresh feel out to the market and lets consumers have something without having to have to give away their private information, which is how 99.9% of everything else is. And it does get annoying. So I love that
We
you guys
agree.
do that. Yeah.
I mean, you're at least in the market. If you see your QR code getting pinged, guess what? Your name is there. You're not a secret, right? So that's a huge marketing upside. So
yeah, if you're not in the house, someone else is. So it's, this idea of we want to build those relationships, be in the home, and build the business.
You guys are constantly building and changing. What's the next phase look like? If you can share. If you can't share it, don't share.
Yeah.
Well, we will have something new coming January. I cannot share what it is, but I can tell you it will be probably the fourth product in the product suite, and probably our last one, because again, what we want to do is hone and refine the existing products to make them as smooth, as fast, and as helpful as possible. So less is really more here. We're not trying to be the very robust systems. We're trying to be a great price point, very affordable, and really gets you what you need to get done and the tools to do it so that you can grow your business. But yes, look for something new in January.
Okay. Do you work in all states?
Yeah.
All states. Okay. And then so my understanding, if people want this product, they do have to work at their company, unless they own their own company, to get you guys synced into the pricing engine.
Currently, that's the setup. Yes.
Yes. Like for us, it's not our entire company. It's just our local team. So companies can do it. Don't feel like if you're at a larger company, like, oh gosh, I got to get the whole thing approved. Like maybe they'll let you just get your team approved to start, to kind of test it, to show the value. But how do people reach you, Ben, and find out more information if they would like to have access to this?
Well, I would say absolutely go to the URL getuplist.com. That's our main website. There you can request more information. I'm always available on LinkedIn. I love it. I'm there every day. You can find me, connect with me, ask any questions that you have. But really, we would say just check out the website. And if you're interested in having that no pressure call or conversation, fill out the form and we'll get in touch.
The other thing, Ben, not to upstage you, you could also join us here at Revolution under Stacy and get access to it as well. So
yes. Maybe I have to disclose I'm friends with Jeff Bell, but
So but Ben, thank you so much for your time and being here. And I look forward to seeing the next evolution of what's coming out in January, man. I'm waiting with bated breath.
Well, really appreciate the time and the opportunity. So thank you.
Right on. We'll catch you later.
Thanks, Ben. All right. So now we are bringing in what?
In the season of giving, we wanted to circle back with our charity this year. Oh, sorry, Matt. I could have given you a little more warning as opposed to
more heads up. Yeah.
No worries.
Hey, you're on stage.
Happy to be here.
Welcome to the show, Stacy.
So Matt Darrell is the executive director for Homemade Puget Sound. He's a dear friend of mine. I sit on the board with him, and I was on the board previously, and Matt truly has livened up this board in our Pacific Northwest market, and he came in strong and have gotten so much done in the first year. Like I can't even believe it, but I'm excited, and let's see what you have to share with us, Matt. Welcome.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Keith. I know at the beginning we started with a 4-letter word, and we're going to start with another one. It's Keith. It's not snow, but it's GIV. It's give. I'm the executive director of Homemade Puget Sound. Our mission is to end homelessness through construction, community engagement, and education. And I know it's hard times for everybody right now, but there's still an opportunity to give back to your community and really have an to be part of ending homelessness in the Pacific Northwest. So when you're thinking about giving, think 3 things. Think time, talent, and treasure. First one being time. You can definitely volunteer. We're connected to a lot of service providers that have holiday markets or Santa brunches, and all those events need volunteers. So if you've got the time and you want to come out, connect with us, and I can get you to an event that would really appreciate your time. We've also got some.
Do you want to start first, actually, just to explain what Homemade is?
Yes. Homemade is a national nonprofit that addresses homelessness by connecting leaders in the building industry to service providers. So our board of directors picks a service provider that offers programming or support services to those experiencing homelessness. We trust that service provider, and they're looking to either expand their programming by building something new or remodeling to best serve the community. So once we pick that project, we bring the best of the building industry to that project. We collaborate with our trades to make sure that they get free roof, free siding. Whoever really wants to put their hand in the clay, we work together. It takes a village to build a village. And once everything's built, we cut the ribbon. That service provider operates and continues to serve the community with that property, and our team moves on to the next project. So that's the biggest thing that we do. We also do some local drives and some volunteer care days. There's 13,000 people experiencing homelessness every night in Seattle, and these construction projects take a long time. So we've got to do something in the now to support the people that truly need it. So thank you. Sorry, I will start with that blurb in the future. So we covered time, talents. As Stacy said, our board is new, and each of you watching this podcast have many, many skills. And if you're interested in being part of our board of directors that help build the connections with the service providers and pick the construction projects we will end up doing, please connect with me and we can talk about that opportunity. And the last thing was treasure. When you give to HomeAid, you're not giving to one nonprofit, you're giving to multiple nonprofits that we support right now. And it's just, again, going back to it being hard, 2 of the service providers we've been working with this year have actually recently experienced break-ins. Fusion in Federal Way offers a workforce development program at a cafe called Poverty Bay Cafe. Someone brought their truck and just rammed through the entrance. Everything was locked up. They took 2 Cokes, the beverage Cokes, and left them with a giant mess. Luckily, we were able to get in there and help with the entrance, and the community came in the next day, sold the most pancakes ever on the books. So it's good. It's good that they know that it's not just a cafe. It's a place where people can learn new skills, build their resume, and find a sustainable job. So that's one of them. Also, Vision House in Renton, someone broke into one of their storage units and stole a lot of really valuable tools. And they were currently updating some of the transitional homes. And ultimately, it delayed people being able to get into their program because the tools were stolen. So currently with Fusion, we are remodeling one of their 5-bedroom homes so that refugee families typically are much bigger, and we want to keep families together. So we're remodeling this home, and we're building a duplex for them next year. So when you give to HomeAid, this treasure is really dispersed to many, many service providers that we've decided to choose and help. So if you want to make a donation. What was that?
Do you think it'll be completed before the end of the year?
The remodel. So we got an issue with a permit. Wah wah. You can add that sound later. So it's a little bit delayed, and we imagine the first family's probably going to move in January. We had our fingers crossed. We wanted to have like a holiday moment, but yeah, once we get the permits done and ready, I will say that the backyard DVD commentary extra, we installed their own playground, so the kids in the backyard, it's expansive, but this is like a good playground with bark. We got bark, people. So there's just more to come as we finish this home, and I would love to come back and share some pictures and show you what happens in January.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, and I would just add, like, I'm not a builder, but I'm on the board. So if your heart is there and you just want to help, you really, truly reach out to us and we'll find a way to bring you in. Lennar and Shay have done so much this year. So a big shout out to them. I know there's more builders joining us early next year, but they're not quite here yet, so I can't shout them out. But if you are a small builder, medium builder, large builder, please, if you have a servant heart to help your community, please reach out, because it is an amazing opportunity and we all need to do our part to help our community. We do a golf tournament in the spring. That money, would that be the fall?
Yeah, spring.
I don't know, but that all goes to, every cent that we make goes to HomeAid. And what is coming up next? Do we have a diaper drive coming up or something else?
Yes. So in January, we will be at Teen Feed in the U District serving meals to teenagers experiencing homelessness. And then from Mother's Day to Father's Day, Homemade Puget Sound's first annual Builders for Babies. It's a diaper drive. It's a wipe drive. But families, diapers are expensive. This is something we do nationally. So yeah, I'm sure all the parents are going, preach. So we want to collect as much as we can, and then we get them to the service providers. So again, that's something that the families don't necessarily have to
Mother's Day to Father's Day. Okay, so I'm sure there'll be places to drop them off at Lennar Homes and Shea Homes for sure.
And Revolution Mortgage.
Revolution Mortgage offices, yes.
Yep.
And there's so many other people on the board, so I'm dropping the ball here. But just reach out to us in this chat or go to Homemade Puget Sound and find all the different organizations that are part of it and where you can find us to donate. You can also donate funds. Matt, actually, we just did a Share the Warmth drive where we collected coats and hats and boots and those types of things. He did get cash donations, and there's organizations out there that only sell to nonprofits. And so instead of buying a bunch of socks at Target, he was able to take this money and probably tenfold the cost, take that money and buy tenfold what you could buy at a retail store. And then we had a really huge success. And how many nonprofits did we help? 3?
We chose 3 nonprofits. We collected over 1,800 individual units of donations, which totaled to about $27,000. So each nonprofit, Fusion, Vision House, and Seattle's LGBTQ plus center, each got the items that they needed, and they were long overdue. It's been cold for a while, so these service providers were very happy to get something to continue to provide.
Nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for having me. And I hope, from GIV to SNOW, I hope that, Keith, you have a happy holiday.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely. Matt, we're going to keep you around for one last final question. This is our last show of the year. So the final question is that fur I smell? So Stacy and I were trying to figure out, we looked up a survey. We know the numbers.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a fake tree in your house or do you have a real tree?
The no tree?
No tree. We didn't look up the no tree numbers.
Okay, what about your niece? Does she have a fake tree or a real tree?
Oh, I think it's a fakey. I feel like it's got to be 60-40 fake.
It's 21-79. Fake trees are 79% in the households now.
Wow. You
Pretty
got a
crazy,
Black Friday in Costco. I'm looking right at you. Black Friday in Costco offering some cheap, delicious, quality fake trees.
I just want to shout out all the people who are still going out and cutting down trees, because that's a lot of freaking work. And your kids are going to have all these great memories. I quit that 2 years ago, so I can't pat myself on the back. But I do like just pulling out my tree out of a box and boop, it's up.
Yep. And well, there you have it. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Ben, thank you. He's back on the East Coast or Midwest. Ben, thank you for joining us today with Uplist. Stacy,
we do have a challenge, Keith, that kind of involves Ben for starting next year.
Oh yeah, we're gonna announce the challenge. I totally forgot. I was gonna close the show out.
I know you were.
You go for it. Get it.
Okay, so
this was your baby, so you get to announce it.
Okay, so our challenge next year is to do our show and show off 100 open houses as fast as we can next year. So if you're an agent out there and you want our show to be either at your open house or a few days before your open house, I will come on the west side of the mountains. Keith will go on the east side and the Idaho side of the mountains. And we will do a little tour, interview you, talk about your listing. And it's going to be a spinoff of Real Estate Now. 100. Yes, Matt, 100. We're going to do 100.
Yeah.
So get those open houses going, guys. I looked up Bellevue yesterday, and I think there's 5 open houses this weekend, and there's 200 listings. So I'm here. I don't even produce anymore. I will go sit your open houses. I will help you.
I looked up all of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. There's 18 open houses across the 1,000,001 people. Total. 18 open houses.
Yeah. Really? We want to host our shows in your houses. So if you're one of those people, please reach out to us and let us know, because we need friends to go sit in your houses.
And we will be reaching out to you. So
so 100 houses are going to be done when, Keith, the first quarter?
Let's get it done by quarter at the very latest, but maybe the end of February.
It just depends how many open houses we have to go to. We're going to be really busy. I'm going to go with Q1. I got to give myself an extra 30 days.
Agents, open that house.
Yes.
Right
Love
on. Okay.
And
Well,
bring
then,
bakers. Mine.
with that, you guys have a great and happy, safe holiday, and many warm wishes to all of your families and all of you out there listening and watching and engaging with the show. Thank you so much for another amazing year. And we will catch you again next year, hopefully in somebody's house. Well, open house. That was weird. Open house.
Yeah.
So,
Happy holidays. Love you all. Thanks, Matt.
Happy
Thanks,
holidays.
Ben.
Thanks.